Hello, everybody. This is Brad Dyke. How you doing? I hope you're doing great, and I hope that the good Lord keeps good things for you as you go forward. Um, a little quiet as of late because I'm tackling some things that are going on around, and I would be truly, genuinely remiss if I didn't pay attention to things outside of our world of technology. Right? It would be just wonderful to take a look at technology and talk about it all the time. But the truth of the matter is, especially now, um, the real life scenario of so many of you that are out there who are trying to learn to be better, to be more capable in your jobs, and so on. And then, unfortunately, you may have lost your job due to what is going on today in our government of the United States. So I thought, let's take a step out for a minute. And how can we be helpful? Everybody can point fingers and everybody can blame. But once the blame is done, how do you shore up your pants, tighten up your buttons on your collar, and get back to doing what's best? And that means working. So I thought I have hired people, and I've been hired myself, and I work in the advanced fields of technology. And the key thing about um, your environment of where you're coming from and you're riding your technological wave. Now, what that means basically is you're in your element. You've begun to understand what's your passion in the IT field. And you might have listened to videos like mine or other people who help you along the way. And that's our goal, is to be helpful. And so that's what this is about. So this first video, is about how do you prepare yourself to do a new job. The first thing you have to do in this technical realm is clearly understand that if you're making a transition from one position out into the commercial world, it's scary. It really is. You know, I'm an ex-police officer. I've been in the United States Armed Forces. I've worked with the DoD, with the Air Force, for almost 10 years. And to me, the challenge was exactly the same thing for somebody who was laid off, which is basically the situation that's happening today. The very first thing I had to do in my case was I realized I laid myself off. Right. I stepped away because I didn't want to be in that environment. It's kind of caustic if you know anything about the government. And I wanted to be excited and drive the technology. That was my goal. And so I took a big breath and I went forward. That was the first thing. In the case of a situation where you are spectacular, you're competent, you're capable, you're a veteran of both your field, the technology you're in, you may also be a veteran of the military services or the support services of the government, you carry all the right signs, but they let you go. Well, first things first, just like I did, I said, I've got to take that breath. I throw out a prayer to the good Lord, because this is why you're doing it. The good Lord doesn't put you in a place unless he needs you there. Remember that. The second thing is every step forward is just that. It's a step forward. So be positive. You didn't do anything wrong. If somebody feels that they know better and they let you go, so what? You know, there's something here greater than what you're dealing with. So prepare yourself by first realizing who and what you are. Competent, capable, hopefully humble, and ready to figure out, how do I set my life up in the next step. Now, part of that is being financially responsible, but I'm not going to discuss that. I say it, but you have to tighten your belt and you have to be ready. Expectation is 2 to 9 months before you can get placed in a job. And it's going to be a battle, but use that as a motivator to help you get to where you need to be. Secondly, be honest to yourself. What really makes you happy? Do the job, get paid to play versus being paid to work. It's worth it. Every job we do, any class of job you might consider. There's always a certain percentage of that job you got to do. That's the stuff you don't really like doing, but you do it anyways. It could be payroll, it could be paperwork, whatever it is. But the 80% is your passion. You're building, you're constructing, you're changing, you're repairing, you're recovering, whatever floats your boat. Go for it. That's your mission statement. That's where you want to go. Now, in the sense of money, the truth about that is very simple. Find your passion. The money will come later. Trust me on that. Always remember that when you're going to go after a job or a position, find out what the total salary range of that is. Cut it by 40%. That's your salary range. Be affordable. Make sure that people understand that you're available and you're willing to try new challenges. Understand the nature of teamwork. You need to work in teams. So be patient. Always remember that communication, time management, and teamwork are crucial things you want to discuss when doing an interview process. The other thing that's important is that those people who want to hire you, they need to know that you're human. You see, a career is not a life. Anyone who falls into that trap is going to be miserable pretty quick. A career pays for the things you need in life. So remember that priority when you're going forward. If you're a military veteran like myself, you understand that even if you're a peacetime or a wartime veteran, your disciplines, your understandings, your beans and bullets, you know what I'm talking about. You've got those in the proper priorities. And you understand that in those priorities, there are other things at which you're not going to be comfortable with. That's okay. It's all right to be in a situation, in a civilian situation, as I always used to hear the term said, that you're going to have variables in this job that you've not encountered before, because being in the world of the commercial industries or the local government industries and so on, they're not as structured as you're used to in being in the military services. And because of that, it will seem somewhat chaotic. Well, that's okay. That's why you're there, to help lead the necessary steps to help make it less chaotic. And you'll discover that it's no longer a civilian thing, but it's your thing. See, that's the key thing here. You have to understand. Sometimes the good Lord pulls us and sends us in different directions, and we have to understand that as we're going forward. And as I'm offering these bits and pieces to you, this is how I've been able to accomplish following what's called the 3-5 rule in IT industries. And that is basically you work with a company for 3 to 5 years on average before you either transition to another position with another company with a slight increase in salary, or you laterally or up or different department transfers or something of a promotional-like role into some other aspect of the company you're in. Again, driving to help increase your salary income, as well as keeping this thing sharp, your mind. So by doing that, you can get yourself back to the salary ranges that you might have once had in the federal government. But it's the adventure that's almost as important as the trip versus getting to the very end. And that's very important because you see, wherever you're put there for a reason. And when you leave that place, you figure it out. That's the part that drives me nuts. I work in a position and I found out after I left the position, I went somewhere else. I was there to mentor 3 people to help get them to a better place in their lives. Or I was to be mentored in a different job. And I met a guy that was just phenomenal. He made me look like a joke. But he helped me get to a whole new technical level. And he did it in such a cordial and polite way that he reminded me that humility is so important in our industry. It's not about the guys who know how to do it. It's about the guys who get underestimated when they're doing it. And they're always taking care of people around them when they're doing it. That is crucial in this equation. So understand that getting employed in the world of IT, there are 2 venues that exist. One, the one who's looking to be interviewed, and one who is doing the interview. And in my particular case, I have been on both sides of that fence several times. And so I'll do another video here that would help my counterparts in the IT industry to reach out to all of you guys and gals out there who are so capable and so competent that we couldn't help but not get you hired as quickly as possible. I don't benefit the values of what our president is doing. I don't endorse him and didn't vote for him. I don't even talk to the discussion of that. But you are important. Remember that. People are important, not things. We can always replace things. We can always rebuild things. We can always repair the land, but we can't replace you. So God bless. I hope some of this will help you guys understand that it's not hopeless. Do a prayer. Get up. Do what you do best. Get to work. You can do this. I have faith in you. God bless. Goodbye.